little crew. It was a whole little crew of them. Because DC, they quick for their guns, man.
Okay.
They kill you in a minute, especially if they know you from out of town. So I wound up staying with the girl Karen and her family, and I wound up just giving 40-50 to the kid Jay. Now my thing is out of town, and I'm a wholesaler.
Okay.
So I wound up getting a couple of $100,000 out of my stash. I didn't deal no more with blocks and things of that nature. I wound up just going down there being a wholesaler.
Okay.
And again, I was seeing anywhere. At first, I was seeing like maybe $6,000 off of every brick. Then, you know, as prices and other people start coming into the town and all that, I wound up seeing maybe $4. And then it got to a point I was seeing anywhere from the lowest it got was anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 off a brick. And that was good because sometimes I would go to DC with 30 bricks and sell them all in one day. Whew. Yeah, because I had good customers. I had anywhere from 10 to 15 good customers because I was giving it to them at a good price. Because if DC was letting them go, if someone had them in DC for 21, 22, I was letting them go for 18. So in all of that, I wound up meeting some other cats. This young cat by the name of Pop and this other cat's name, and the time of putting coke in that town, I wound up meeting some cats named Kirk Bone.
Okay.
This fat kid named Kirk Bone, the kid Rayful. He was a well-known. He was like one of the biggest cats coming up out of DC.
Okay.
He doing life now in prison, but I want to meet him, and he's in jail. That's when I really, basically, almost like really took over the town. So I wind up. So things started getting kind of crazy for me. I was into, like my little man Pop. I was introduced to him by some other cats, and he was a young, wild 15-year-old kid coming out Southeast that was killing anything moving. And he just wanted to be up under somebody that was going to look out for him. So I wound up taking him up under my wing and looking out for him, and through him I wound up meeting another cat named Wayne Perry. Now this kid here, I mean, he had the town on lock, and I mean, he had the town locked on fear and was putting his murder game down. You hear me? Anyone who mentioned his name knew, when they mentioned his name, they mentioned murder in the same sentence, because he was about his work. And didn't problem with talking about it in front of everybody and didn't care, and if you tried to go testify or telling him, he was getting you. So the young kid Pop wound up coming to me and saying, yo, my man is in jail, this and that. So his bail was like, something I think I had to pay like 10%, which was like $10,000.
Okay.
I wound up giving up the whole $10,000 because I seen the bigger picture.
Right.
I said, if I get this kid out and the reputation that he has, then all that'll come on my side.
Right.
So I wound up giving up the whole 10, and it was a 10 well worth it. So I wound up getting him out. I didn't really step to him as soon as I got him out. I just let it be known to my little man. We wound up
15-year-old man know him.
Because my little man had an uncle that knew him.
Okay.
So my little man had the reputation of being wild and about his business. So his uncle was wild too, my little man's uncle. And him and the kid Wayne knew each other.
Okay.
So, and then Wayne, that's how he met him, and Wayne knew what my little man was about. So killers respect killers and all that type of thing. So we wound up hooking up, and we became real tight, me and the kid Wayne. And, you know, I got a lot of negative feedback. A lot of people were like, yo, we ain't really trying to mess with you like that because you got the kid Wayne running with you. Because a lot of dudes were scared of this dude, you know, with little things going around like, yo, if you go get coke from the kid Poe after you get the coke, he put the kid Wayne in them on you. So a lot of dudes were scared, but they was just doing it because they were scared of him, and they was really upset to see him out of jail.
Right.
So they was like, you know, they was hoping he stay in jail.
Right.
So they really feared this dude, and this kid was a real good dude, man. He was a loyal dude, man, and again, so he really respected that I got him out, and he felt that I owed him. He felt that he owed me. So one thing led to another, and he became I'm not gonna say my because he didn't really have anything to do with my business. He had something to do with it, but he didn't handle the drugs and all that stuff. He handled more of the security aspect of it, like if it was time to put the murder game down, or if someone was getting disrespectful, you know, or if someone was trying to come at me, or then that's when he stepped in. I had to trust him, but I just always said the less he knows about as far as where my stashes are, where I'm keeping the money, things that the better it is. Because I always said, well, I'm worth more him alive than dead.
Right.
Because if he don't know where the money's at or the stash at, why would he ever want to bring harm to me when I'm feeding him?
Right.
So I became real strong in D.C. along with my own rep from New York, and now with him, we became real strong in the town as far as like, yo, they dangerous. And I pretty much had the town I pretty much had that small town on lock for a good period of time, man. It was like, because we went at a lot of the dudes that was supposedly holding it down.
You say you went after him, what do you mean?
When I say I've been after, because a lot of people would start talking about, well, we got to get rid of the kid Pope because he getting too much money, and he's not even from here.
I did hear you got shot.
I got shot because they was trying to kidnap me in D.C. My little man, I had a little dude, this little dude is the dude that killed Rich with me. He was getting money too. He was one of my best customers. He was really holding it. He had a beef with another crew, and we couldn't really get at them because they knew us, and they knew how we was coming and all that. So we had to hire like an ally. And this kid he volunteered to be the ally, but he wound up being a statistic. The day I was supposed to meet him up at this car wash, because I had bought these cars and I had these guns for him. The day I was supposed to meet him up at this car wash, he had other plans. They was going to try to kidnap me.
Okay.
So we would just leave it at that. They was going to try to kidnap me, and I wound up getting hit that day.
You wound up getting hit?
Yeah, I wound up getting hit in my ribs. The only thing that saved me, like I said, the only thing that saved me that day, because I was going to get this girl, the only thing that saved me that day was that as I'm talking to this dude, he looks over my shoulder. And when he looked over my shoulder, I followed his eyes. And when I followed his eyes, I seen about 4 dudes coming to try to grab me.
Okay.
And I start running. Next thing I know, I feel bullets and all that coming past my head, hitting off the wall and all that. And one caught me in the ribs.
That's when you figured, hey, put Wayne Perry in effect.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because he was already there, but then I just said, okay, now it's really just time to just bring him closer.
Okay.
And because like I said, he knew everybody, everyone that was about that conniving, trifling, killing people for this and that.
Like, what was the downfall?
The downfall for that whole thing is like, again, it was a domino effect. The whole thing was, Rich's family, which is Peanut,
okay.
Nathaniel Watkins, he told on me. Him and his girl told on me, and they told on me because Peanut one time needed like 125 grams for like a good customer that he had. He couldn't wait.
Okay.
So Richard called me and said, yo, Paul, do me a favor, man. I'm not going to come see you. And take him, and I'll take care of you when you come to New York.
Okay.
So I did that for Rich. I did that for Rich. I took care, so I called, and we wound up hooking up, and his cousin comes to D.C. to get that.
Okay.
Several months later, his little organization now busted. So wound up getting like crazy time, and now after this, Richard is dead. And the only thing I ever did with his cousin was that 125 grams. You follow me?
I follow you.
They wound up telling the feds that I was their supplier, that I done shipped over 500 keys to Virginia for them. That I was the man, that I was there to connect. Because Richard's dead now, so now they got to come up with a better story. So they wound up putting everything on me, and I wound up getting a complaint against me and a federal warrant put on me. So now I'm on the run for the next 2-3 years from that case down there.
She was still able to be in D.C.?
Yeah.
On the run?
On the run. Man, let me tell you something. Where my man Wayne was located at in Southwest, he was in Southwest. I was 2 blocks away from the federal building when they was looking for me.
You just stayed in the house?
Huh?
You just stayed in the house?
No, I wasn't in the house. I was on the block outside.
On the block outside?
2 blocks away from the federal building. They didn't know where I was at.
Now, why did you kill Richard?
Rich, the question to everybody was that the reason why Richard, okay, I had a connect. I had a young Dominican connect off of Broadway, and he wasn't really in position at the time when I was really dealing with him to really front me crazy. He would front me 1 or 2, but he wasn't really in a position where, we wanted him to front us like, 50, 60, 100 keys. We didn't want to put up no money. We want you to front us, and we'll pay you when we, get the drugs. Or we got 100 from you, we'll put up some of the money and we'll pay you the rest. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we don't have to go in the stash for our money. So my connect wasn't in position at the time like that. And Richard was dealing with his connect that he met when he did that year in prison. He met a connect when he did that year in the Bronx house. So this kid was hitting him lovely, but then it stopped. The kid caught a dry spell. Says, you ain't got nobody getting no drugs from. Deal with my man, he'll give you a good price, and the money I'm bringing from out of town, you know, we'll hit him. And when he starts fronting up the drugs, you let me know. Because I had other connects. I had like 2 or 3 other connects that I was able to deal with too. So the time came when he was going to start fronting us the coke.
Okay.
But I was out of town. Since I was out of town, he wasn't able to catch up to me. It was easy for him to just deal with Rich.
Right.
Give it to Rich, and then Rich give it to me.
Right.
So that's what happened. If he gave 100, I was supposed to get, you know what I mean? At the same price that he was charging Rich, I was supposed to get it for that price too.
Right.
But before this came along, I was already dealing with Rich with his connect. So if his connect was charging whatever, I didn't have no problem with Rich making $1,000, $2,000 off of me, because I was coming to spend $300,000-$400,000 with him. But now my connect is giving it from 12, 13. My original connect is giving it for 12, 13, and I'm supposed to get half of that at that price. But Rich got me thinking that the coke that I'm getting from him is still coming from his connect. So then I wound up bumping into my connect because I wound up staying up there a couple of days there, and I wound up running into my connect.
Okay.
So I bumped into him. So I said, yo, what's up, man? I said, yo, what's up, man? When are you gonna start, you know, looking out for a brother, man?
Okay.
He was like, what you talking about, Paul? I said, man, you know what the hell I'm talking about. When you gonna start fronting us this and that? He had a lot of respect for me. I had a lot of respect for him. And so I said, yo, so he was like, yo, what are you talking about? I just gave Rich like 60 joints. This time he had just gave Rich like 60 bricks.
Okay.
And 30 of those bricks were mine.
Okay.
So I'm saying, no, you didn't. You didn't. Rich got coke from his man. He said, man, Paul, I'm telling you, man. I said, oh, yeah? I said, yeah, all right, man. And he described them. And I remember I had just got these round joints from Rich that were real good. And I think they had like Reagan or somebody on them.
Okay.
They were real good, man. And he described them to me and everything.
Okay.
So I said, yo, all right. I said, yo, we never had this conversation, man. So I didn't really say much about it. I just had in my mind like, damn, Rich getting over on me like that. So I didn't say that to him the first time. So I went back down to D.C. to get rid of my bricks and all that. And I had developed a relationship with a dude that just started off as one of my customers. Me and him have built a relationship where we became like real tight, like me and Rich in New York. This kid was me and Rich in D.C.
What was his name?
His name was Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, little Gary.
Is that the one that they say got his dick cut off?
Yeah, that's the one they say got his dick cut off, yeah.
Was that a situation from you?
Yeah.
That was?
I wound up killing little Gary later on. This kid was good. He was probably about 3 years younger than me. He was a murderer too. He was about his murder game.
Okay.
This was my little man. So I went back down to D.C., man, and I told my little man, I said, yo, man. So I said, yo, man, this dude Rich up in New York, man. And he knew Rich from me bringing him to New York because we used to do the firework thing in New York.
Okay.
Every 4th of July, I used to spend like 10,000, 15,000 with these guineas downtown and get me like a truck full of fireworks and come back to my neighborhood and blow it all up and all that.
Okay.
Around 105th Street, and this time I did it around 102nd Street with Rich and all that, and I brought my little man, because they never seen nothing like that being in D.C. They couldn't really do stuff like that, so I brought him to New York to show him how we live up there and all that.
Okay.
So he wanted me and Rich in that process and all that. So this day I went back to D.C. I said, yo, man, this dude here, man. I just found out this dude is jerking me, man. He's like, what you talking about, Paul? I said, man, this dude getting these bricks from my man. I'm supposed to get half at this price. And he charging me this price because I'm thinking it's still coming from his connect. And the first thing come out, he's like, man, let's kill him, man. I was like, nah, just hold up for a minute. Let me think about this thing. So I wound up calling Rich. I said, yo, Rich, everything all right? Your man back on? So I'm just checking out. I said, your man back on? He said, oh yeah, my man just gave me some more joints. You coming up? I said, all right. I told my little man, I said, yo, we going to New York, man. We gonna go see Rich. No, first I went to New York. I took care of my business with him. I spent about $500,000 with him, and got my bricks and all that. And I think he he was getting them from. He was also getting bricks from like Fritz and them. I don't know if you ever heard of the kid Fritz.
Yeah, I heard of Fritz.
Yeah, Fritz was getting boatloads of that stuff. I wound up taking it back to DC. So I'm still not saying that. So I'm saying my little man, I said, yo, man, that's it, man. I'm going back to New York.
Magazine.
I said, yo, I'm gonna ask Rich. I'm gonna step to him because I'm really like just fed up with it now. I said, yo, I'm gonna ask Rich who he got that coke from. Just I said, who he getting this coke from? And if he lied to me again, that's it. So I'm taking him out. So now I tell my little man this. I'm saying, yo, you come. I said, yo, we gonna go to New York. I just got me a customized van. I just bought me a customized van. Them big joints with the TV and the bed and all that.
Okay.
So I just bought one of those, and it was up there in the shop getting the system done and all that. So I told my little man, I said, yo, we gonna go to New York. We gonna fly to New York. I'm to Rich, and I'm gonna find out what the hell is going on.
Okay.
So one thing led to another, and I don't want to go into all, but did I? The question is, did I have anything? Did I kill Rich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I killed Rich.
How'd that come about? You just put, because everything on the street said that a limousine pulled up.
Huh?
A limousine pulled up and put Richard in a car or something like that.
That's what they said?
Yeah.
No. That's what that didn't happen. That's for them to see later on. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. But I know the thing is, did I kill Rich? And yes, I killed Rich. Why did I kill him? It wasn't personal. It was business. I'm gonna tell you this, because Rich, like I told you, like the story I told with the connect and all that. Rich, he was lying to me about something that there was no reason to lie to me about, and in my mind, it just told me that if this little bit of money can come between what I thought was a wonderful relationship and a friendship, then no telling what you might send me down the line for. And I gave him the opportunity to tell me the truth, not once but twice. So when I already came with the plan with my little man, and like, yo, if he lied to me, we just gonna do what we need to do. And that's what happened. Did I kill the little brother? No, I didn't. That was, you know who that was, right? You know who that was?
Right. They said it was Preacher.
No, they didn't. That's who it was. They got not just Preacher, but Richard's uncle Apple.
Right.
They did that. And what made it seem like I had something to do with it is because where I left Richard, the boy's body was found almost in that same whole City Island area.
Now, they said you carried the body all the way from Harlem to City Island. You wasn't afraid?
No. I mean, once that first murder, once you take care of that first murder in your life, it's like really, and not that this is a good thing that I'm saying, but once you do it once, it's like everything else is. No, I wasn't afraid. No, the answer is no, I wasn't afraid. I mean, I was doing what I had to do, Antoine.
Okay.
Definitely got killed in that area, and his body was definitely taken up to around City Island.
Okay.
He got hit twice. He felt something, man. Because I'll tell you this: his hand was on the doorknob. I had to pry his hand from the doorknob because it locked on the doorknob.
Locked on the doorknob?
Yeah, he was trying to get up out of there.
They also said that he scratched your neck.
That's a false. He never scratched. Richard. First of all, Richard never seen it coming, really. He couldn't have scratched my neck because I was the driver, and my little man took care of everything else. And he didn't scratch. How I got my neck scratched, and it's not they said it. I believe AZ said my neck.
Right, AZ said it.
Yeah, I believe AZ said my neck. Hold on. Richard didn't scratch my neck. Richard never even seen it coming. Richard never even laid a hand on me. He never knew what was happening.
Now, how'd your little man get killed now?
There he got killed in D.C. He was, and it wasn't because he helped me out with the Rich thing and all that. Oh yeah, by the way, I got my money back that Rich jerked me out of. You want to put that?
Okay.
Definitely got my money back.
How'd you do that?
Well, remember, I just got hit with a bunch of bricks from him.
Right.
And I was supposed to bring the money back for.
Right.
I I kept that.
Oh, you kept that?
Yeah, I got close to what he was beating me for back.
Okay.
But he, was a man in D.C. It came a thing with him where he was, he was a short kind of guy. He was about 5'1", 5'2", real slim in the body, and a real big head.
Okay.
But he was getting money, though. People didn't know he was getting money. At that time, he was probably holding about $1 million, $2 million, and people didn't know that he was holding like that. He was getting it, and he had a real short man complex.
Okay.
Okay, and like I said, we wasn't just business partners. I knew a lot of his business. I knew his family. He knew my family in D.C., New York. You know, I knew his son's mother. I knew where he laid his head. He knew where I laid my head sometimes. You know, I knew some of his stashes. He knew some of my stashes. We became real close. So, and he was also the one with me with Rich.
Okay.
So we had a lot of secrets on one another. And he had the short man come, and he started to become real jealous with me as far as through the people, because the people used to, since I was ALPO, people used to see him with me all the time and think he was working for me.
Right.
Because not until I came to D.C. really, he started coming out with like Benzes and all, because he seen what I was at, so he started busting out with little Benzes and all that type of 300 coupes and all that.
Right.
And I always had the reputation if you let me your car, Antoine, automatically that was my car.
Right.
That was my car. Then if they seen you with it, like, oh yeah, he's driving a car. So time went on. One day, me and him and one of his workers were sitting at a table at a restaurant having a sandwich, and he called my wife a bitch. He called my wife a bitch because he was like, man, you still with that crazy bitch? And I just looked over at him, and I could have took it a little better if it was just me and him. But one of his workers was there,
right.
And I kind of like gave him that look like, yo, you really disrespected me right now. And so he seen her. She was coming to look for me down South River because she knew I hung out down there. So the kid, Gary seen her, he was like, yo, there go that bitch. Look at that bitch. Who she looking for? She must be looking for Poe. And my man Wayne heard him say this. And he beat me. He beat me later. He was like, yo, Gary was down here talking trash about you and disrespected your wife. I was going to kill him right there, but I said, let me get with you first. Because I was like, no, I still got love for the kid. No, he's just frustrated right now. And we had a lot of secrets on one another, and I always told them before this happened, I said, you know, we know so much about one another that if we was to ever get into any type of confusion or anything, one of us would have to leave. And I'm definitely not going back to New York because I'm getting money. So the only thing else is one of us will have to die. He was like, yeah, I feel you, because we knew a lot about one another. So now I got this deal coming up with this connect, like, yo, this crazy big deal, like, yo, they want me to put up like, I had to put up like maybe about $2 million. They was gonna hit me with like probably about, I say anywhere from like $6 million worth of coke in New York.
Produced by Contrast Productions.
It was like about $6 million. So they wanted me to put up like $2 million. Right? So I had like 1.5. I put up like 1.5, and I was just telling my little man for him to just put up a $500,000. Okay. I was able to put up I could have put up the whole $2 million at that time. This would have just set us on the map for, it was at like 11,000 a key, 10,000 a key. I could have came to DC and got 19,000. To the dudes who I didn't really like and the dudes who I was real cool, I could have got 17, you know? That was like $6,000, $8,000 profit. So before this goes about, his anger is really building up with me, and he's not really feeling me like that anymore. We really had stopped hanging out, but I didn't really pay no attention to it. I'm saying I still got love for this kid and all that. So he tells somebody down in Lawton prison about this deal. He told somebody that he was cool with down there. Only thing he didn't know that the same person that he's telling, they know my man, Wayne. My man Wayne, he gets to me and said, yo, you about to put a deal together in New York for this, that, it's gonna put gas. I said, what the hell? I said, how you know? He said, well, man, my man called me out from Lawton. He said, Gary told him that, yo, that you wanted to put this deal together and
it's a Contrast Production for Feds Magazine.
Doing you in the process. Just how much anger he built up for me. I said, oh, yeah. So my man was like, yo, I said, no, we got to do this right now. Can't just be running up on Gary in broad daylight. That's going to come back to us. So we gotta do this right, and we gotta get him when nobody know. So my little man Gary, he had a little beef with somebody, and they just like maybe like a month earlier, they tried to kill him. And so he beats me one night and said, yo, one of the kids' name was Jawbreaker, out of D.C.'s kid named Jawbreaker. He said, yo, I know where Jawbreaker them at. This is Gary talking to us on the phone, like, yo, I know where the kid Jawbreaker them at. They had such and such, such and such. I said, oh, yeah. So I'm talking to my phone. I said, who you with? He said, yo, I'm by myself. I said, you got something? He said, yeah, I got 2 pistols with me now. I said, all right, I was with my man Wayne and like 2 other dudes that were under my man Wayne. So that was our perfect opportunity. My man Wayne was like, yo.
Produced by Contrast Productions.
So we jump in this kid's MPV van, because we used to like use an MPV van because they had the little side compartments. We could throw the pistols in there, the police pull us over real quick. So we jump in the MPV van, so I'm driving, because since I was like the best friend. So we go meet the kid Gary, because this is a perfect opportunity. Don't nobody know he's with us now. And when they come up missing, we can always be like, man, I knew how to deny it quick.
Okay.
So we go get him. Boom. So we go get him. He gets into the MPV van. He parks his car or whatever. He parks his truck. He had the truck at the time. He parks his truck. I met him on, Florida Avenue. I go meet him on Florida Avenue by a Wendy's, I think it was. Okay. We get a little revolver out of the stash, and I give it to the dude that's sitting in back of my man Gary. So my man Gary, he's in the middle, but he don't know that we done slipped the revolver to the back to the kid who's gonna hit him in the head. We ran for about 5-10 minutes after we get the gas. Bang, my man hit him. I give the signal to the rearview mirror. My man hit him with the revolver, 2 in the head. All you hear is, once he hit him, because the kid Gary was getting kind of sleepy, because we was about to be like, yo, we ain't gonna catch these dudes. So, Gary was getting kind of sleepy, so he's like dozed off for a minute. He never even seen it or felt it coming. So the kid hit him with the revolver, bow, so the bullets don't go nowhere, because of the revolver, they don't pop out. Okay. So he hit him in the head twice. Yo, Gary, he winds up shitting on himself. Okay. From his muscles. Okay. So, he's stinking up the car and all that. So that's how the thing came up. His dick was chopped off. So we had to find some woods. So I had to find somewhere to dump him at. So we wound up taking him in this park over on 16th Street in Northwest. Okay. I don't know if it's Potomac Park. I think it's called Potomac Park or something. So we wound up taking him over there. And I said, yo, man, we gonna leave him in the woods. So I said, yo. So we pull over in this real dark. After yo, take off his clothes, man. So they won't spot him through the clothes and all that. Take off his clothes and leave him naked in the woods. So we do that, and we dragging him through the woods naked. So he gets a couple of scratches on his body and his face and on his penis, because we taking him through the woods. We dragging him. So that's how it came about that they thought we chopped off his dick and all that. And I thought when we left him, that was real cool, but we wound up leaving him next to some type of telephone box or something. And the next day, just so happened that the telephone people was coming out to fix this box. And they found him the next day.
Then they said something about dementia with your wife.
Huh?
Dementia.
Dementia was a situation where he really disrespected himself and he disrespected other people, and that's why that happened to him. Yeah. He thought he was tougher than what he really was. But I ain't play with them Brooklyn dudes.
You ain't play with them?
Nah. They were cool. I had some cool ones that came up out of Brooklyn, but I just always remembered as a kid how Brooklyn used to like to rob you and all that.
Right.
How they was always known for robbing you, so that kind of like stuck with me in my time. But I met some cool getting money dudes out of Brooklyn, without a doubt.
Okay. Who hit him?
My man that was down with not Wayne, but the kid that was up on the Wayne. Wayne, too many people knew him as far as right there, so we got one of his little soldiers to hit him. But I was shaking his hand. I gave him.
It's a Contrast Production for Feds Magazine.
You hit him right.
You never feared that bullets would slip off and maybe hit you?
No, I didn't care about that. I was shaking his hand. There was enough where, because they walked right up on him. I mean, it wasn't no like from a distance. As I was shaking his hand, they walked right on him and put the gun right to his forehead and blasted him.
Was it daytime?
Yeah, daytime. Broad day. After a basketball game. I just got finished playing basketball in the basketball tournament.
So now, did that put the police right on you?
Well, they were ready on me, so that just like let them know. Because later on, when they finally arrested me, they was like, "Man, you was killing off everybody." So that just gave them. They was already looking for me, so that was just something else that they put in. They didn't like another one.
Didn't y'all kill someone else that was from your crew?
His name was Andre.
Right, whatever happened to him?
Yeah, we killed him. Yeah, we killed Andre. And this guy was spending a lot of money, man. Killed him for two reasons, actually. One is he was messing with my man Gary's girl.
Okay.
And we told him to leave her alone.
Okay.
That was the main reason, because he was messing with my man Gary's girl. We found out about it. So being that he was dealing with me, I kind of like was able to talk to my man Gary and tell yo, check this out, dude is spending money with me, just chill out. We're not gonna do nothing to him. So I went.
He's spending good money?
Huh?
He's spending good money?
Man, the man was spending about $400,000 every month with me. About $400,000 every month. At least that. He found out that I was messing with his girl. You know, he came to kind of like put it together and found out, but he never said nothing. Now, he met my man's girl somewhere, somehow, and he booked her, and they was doing their thing. And the girl, Caprice, was kind of like, she was starting to get real unhappy with my man Gary, because he really had her on lockdown, kept her in the house with the baby and all that. She couldn't really do nothing and all that. We had bought her a convertible BM and all that, but she couldn't really drive it. When she drove it, she had to be certain places. So he really had her on lock and had her scared. So this kid Andre met her, whatever, and, you know, I guess, so we found out about it. My man Gary found out about it, and he called me. This is when we was tight like that. He called me, he was like, yo, Paul, I need to talk to you. I said, all right. So I met him or whatever. He's like, yo, this nigga Tank messing with my girl, and this and that, man. I'm going to step to him. You know, that's my people and all that. I said, hold up, Gary, let me. And my man Gary was like, yo, that's it. He was ready to just take him out. So, because he knew that was Gary's baby mother, and you didn't do that.
Right.
So, and you know, I'm born in Andre's girl, so I'm like, oh, man. So, let me go talk to him first. And again, the kid Andre never said nothing to me. He knew I was born again, never said nothing to me. So, and he wasn't no tough guy, man. He didn't, you know, he was about getting $1. So,
okay.
I went to go talk. I said, yo, Andre, check this out. You know, me and you doing business, money's good, this and that, but yo, you got to stop boning Gary's girl, man. You got to stop messing with her, man, because he knows he's upset, and you know he giving fair warning. I mean, he's letting this one go, because he don't believe y'all had sex or whatever, and I don't even want to know. So whatever you doing with her, let it go, man. It ain't worth it, man. And he was like, yo, I hear you good looking out, this and that. He told me this straight in my face. About 2-3 weeks passed. My man Gary called me, Ken. He beat me. Yo, come see me, man. So I go meet him. Kid Andre got to die, man. Check this out. Dude doing it again, man. He's still seeing Caprice and this and that. I said, all right, man. He said, man, this time I want to talk to him. So I said, all right, no problem. So I had a deal with the kid Andre for about 270. Okay. About 270,000. This day he wanted some drugs. So I said, yo, we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to meet him, take care of this business with him, and you can talk to him at the same time. Okay. So I go meet the kid.
Produced by Contrast
Productions. At my favorite
Productions.
spot over there in Minnesota and Pennsylvania Avenue over there by Ammo. I told Gary, I said, just chill, man. Let me go talk to him. I had my 5.0 this day. I said, let me go talk to him, and then you come. So I got into the truck. I told the kid, I said, what's up, man? I said, everything all right? He said, yeah. I said, well, what's going on, man? You back? He said, nah, this and that. So my man Gary, here come my man Gary. As I'm talking to the kid Andre jumped into the back of the caravan to go get the money out and all that. Okay. And I was over in the passenger seat. So my man Gary, he comes from out my car, when he was in the passenger, and comes around to the driver's side to the empty seat. So the kid Andre is coming from the back seat to the middle seat now with the bag of money. So as soon as the kid Andre turns around to look at me and let me know that the bag that my man Gary is coming in the car and hit him right in the head. Boom! My man Gary was strapped all the time. He knew he was going to kill him, but he knew not to tell me, because I was going, no, don't do that. So now, I'm like, oh, Gary, what the hell? He was like, yo, man, the hell with that dude, man. He was this and that, this is bad. I said, all right. But in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Because now I got the girl all to myself, so we killed 2 birds with 1. I'm saying, I'm going to miss the money, but I got the girl now, too. I got the 270 now. So I take the money. I said, man, what the hell? I take the money. He had a Rolex on. We left all that. I said, man, follow me in the car, man. I said, here, take this bag. Take the car. Follow me. So we drove about 5-6 blocks away from that area. Right. And like in a residential area, a nice quiet block. Just threw him down on the floor. Wiped off everything that we touched and all that. And just left him there. And they found him like 2 days later, 3 days later, because from the from the stench of the body and all that. Because it was like summertime, so his body started stinking and they found him.
Did the girl think that you did that?
No, she didn't think it at first, because she beat me. As soon as she found out, it was like, yo, they killed Andre, she cried. So, I'm like, hold on, boo-boo, don't worry about it. We're going to find out who did that. So I'm going over there, comforting her, and telling her to calm down, and this and that. And so now we got that 270, and I give my man $100,000, I keep 170, and that was that on that one.
That was that on that one?
Yeah, he violated as far as my man telling him to stay away from his mother. He wouldn't listen. Yeah.
How many are you actually charged with?
14.
14 homicides?
14 murders, yeah.
Which are they?
Some 8 in D.C. and the rest was in New York, like some of the stick-up kids.
Okay.
And
so how'd they find out about the stick-up kids in New York?
well, that's what I'm seeing. But now my situation, we get into that, my situation. Now, I want to take this opportunity to just, 2 rumors that was always around about, and make sure this goes in there, Antoine.
Okay.
2 rumors that was always out about me. That one was, I don't know if you ever, that I was dying of AIDS in prison.
I heard that one.
Okay, that's false.
Okay.
I'm healthier than I ever was.
Okay.
And the other one, a lot of people, Poe is snitching, Poe is telling. Yes. If that's what you want to call it, then that's what you call it. But Poe calls it looking out for Poe.
Okay.
I'm doing what I gotta do for me. And for the people that read this and read the article, or once upon a time friends that I thought I had, and they look at it and say, yo, Poe went out like a sucker, or Poe went out like this. In life you make choices. And sometimes those choices are good and they're bad. You follow me?
I follow you.
And I thought at the time when I did what I had to do for me, I thought I definitely had to understand that what I'm doing ain't right, but that's what I needed to do for me.
Right.
I've truly come to accept that I made the right choice.
Did at any point Rafis himself try to send anybody out?
Now, me and him never had no problems because when he was out, he had so much of the town locked, I wasn't really a threat to him.
How many different crews tried to kill you in D.C.?
In D.C. I probably had about 3 different crews trying to come at me, and they was coming at me, but they wasn't for real though, because they knew who I had with me, man. They knew I had killers, man. They knew I had killers. They knew I was boss my gun too.
Do you ever feel at any time that they may get together and try to kidnap you?
What, Wayne and them?
Right.
No.
If Wayne was so loyal, why'd you flip on him then?
Government. They wasn't dealing with ALPO on well, we're going to give you 10 years, Mr. Martinez, or we're going to give you 15 years, or even 20 years. No. They wanted me for the death penalty. They was trying to look to give me the death penalty, or if they couldn't succeed with the death penalty, they was going to try to give me the rest of my natural life in jail. Because we had murders. We had 2 murders. We had murders 2 blocks away from the White House.
What was that about?
Huh? That was about a female. That was a female. She wasn't really, that was about a female, but my man was so crazy that this female, when we killed this big drug dealer in D.C., that was the guy earlier, I told you, the kid, Michael Frey, when we took him out, it was such a big deal, that was such a big thing that this hooker started, I'm not going to call her, but this female started running her mouth about a situation that she didn't really know nothing about, and my man got so upset at that he just said, you know what, she gotta go. She talking too much. And it was after a Keith Sweat concert. It was at this place called Constitution Hall. Constitution Hall. And that's like 2 blocks away from the White House. And he just left her there.
You just left for that? Why'd you kill Michael Frey?
Michael Frey was someone who was about to get back in position in D.C. And he had a little cleanup list of people who he needed to eliminate for him to be back in power like that again. And I was the first one at the top of his list.
Okay.
To get rid of me. And how I found out about that is that he didn't know I was feeding somebody in his camp. I was looking out for somebody in his camp because he couldn't take care of him. And they got the information back to my man. And my man got it to me. And that same person that was in his camp wound up killing him. For me.
Okay. Now, the murders that you're charged with in D.C., which ones are those?
Like I said, those 8 of them, we go into more detail, but 8 of them are in New York. 8 of them are in D.C., and I think 2 was in Maryland, and the rest was in New York. It came out to 14 that I copped out to. And when I say copped out to, in my position as far as doing what I had to do for me, as far as testifying and all that, and I had to confess to those murders. I had to tell those murders.
How would they get the New York murders?
Well, because that's all one. You know, New York comes to D.C. and they give the investigation. When the feds are investigating you, they investigate everything.
But how would they know all of that?
From me.
Oh, okay.
Once you take the position that I've taken, you have to tell it all. They didn't know I had said something, because if it came a time later on that they found out about it, then whatever agreement, whatever situation that they gave me, they can take it back
Produced by
and
Contrast
take me back to
Productions.
court.
Okay.
It was that kind of thing. Like for 4 of the murders in New York, I got immunity.
Got immunity?
Yeah, I basically almost got like immunity, because they just added them to the murders in D.C.
Okay. Now let me ask you another thing. They said also in New York that our preacher extorted you and Rich.
Right.
Right.
Now, yeah, let's cover that real quick. Preacher never took 2 pennies from me. Now that's one. Like I said, I'm here telling you that I'm telling you, so there's no reason for me to hold back anything from you. The preacher never took 1 penny from
Produced by
ALPO.
Contrast Productions.
Never, ever. He would have took 2 bullets before he took any kind of money from me. Preacher, now, his situation with Rich was different. Preacher took care of some murders for Rich. No, Preacher, I was real cool with the guy that Preacher killed, named Terry. That was his partner. I was messing with his goddaughter named Vanessa, this girl named Vanessa, and they never came at me for any kind of extortion. One time, Preacher came and asked me for like a half a key of coke, and I never even got it to him because I was so much in and out of town, I wasn't even thinking about him. No. My little man, my man that I told you earlier that was the stick-up kid with me and all that, he had Preacher. He knew Preacher. He was going to kill Preacher. Preacher never took a penny from me. Even now in my position, some people came to see me about Preacher, and they was asking me like, yo, the Preacher, so I could have benefited from there if I wanted to, and just said, yeah, but no, Preacher never took any kind of money from me. He always thought AZ was a punk. He always used to call AZ a punk. He knew what I was about. He knew what I was about, so he didn't even come at me like that. And as far as Rich, him and Rich had an understanding because of ALPO being Richard's nephew, and Richard paid him like $10,000 before he came home or something to kill this kid Sean Moe. They killed him coming out of 145th Street Garage in St. Nick.
Okay.
So him and Rich had that situation, and then he was right around the corner in 148th Street. But I don't ever remember Rich even giving him any money. So, and see, and the thing with Preacher, as well, I don't care if you was talking to him. If somebody rode by you and seen you talking to Preacher, they automatically said he was getting money from you.
Right.
That's how that was. That's how his rep was. It was so strong like that as far as extortion. But if anybody that really knows me, they know I'm not paying nobody nothing. It's easier for me to tell him to meet me and pick up the money and just put 2 in his head. Come on. I could have brought, that was the case, I could have brought my man Wayne from D.C. If I didn't even want to, I could have brought him from D.C. They don't know Wayne. Wayne would have walked right up on him, hit him 3 times with him, and then piss on him. They ain't caring about no damn Preacher. He respected me the same way I respected him.
What was it like where did the feds catch you at?
They caught me in D.C.
D.C.?
Yeah.
They said it was on Pennsylvania Avenue? Or
Yeah.
Minnesota? Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania Avenue, yeah. No, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, yeah. Minnesota and Pennsylvania, yeah.
What was that experience like?
That experience, that was a scary experience for me because, I was just the feds. I know once they came, I knew it was over. They was lamping outside this apartment. They was lamping outside this house I used to be at a lot. This dude used to cook. He was a good, he was a faggot. And his name was Manny. Manny was a good guy. He was a homo though. He was a gay. Everyone knew him in D.C. And the guy Frey that I talked about that we killed, his girlfriend, her name was the same girl that Rich used to mess with. This was one of the girls that Rich used to mess with named Inga.
Okay.
She was messing with the kid Frey now. So now after he gets killed, they don't learn the feds run up in her house. They had heard he got killed, so they had heard that I may have killed him because I wanted to be with her. So they ran up in her spot. So when they ran up in her spot and told her that, she was like, oh yeah? he might have had something to do with it. Well, he don't be here. He be at Manny's house all the time.
Right.
So what they did was they started checking out Manny's spot. And they caught me coming there a couple of times, but they didn't move in at that point. They wanted to make sure that it was me. So this one night, they was lamping outside the joint. I was waiting for him, and in the process that I was waiting for him, the kid Manny came outside, and we were sitting in his Cadillac because I was waiting for my wife to pull up, and this dude walked past the car. A black dude, it was around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I was like, hey, what the hell? What he doing walking by? So I'm strapped. So I get the 9. I was carrying like 2 9s with me, so I pulled them joints out. The kid Manny was like, what you gonna do? I said, no, I just don't trust this dude right here. So I got my 9s with me and all that, and so he disappears. My wife pulls up. She's driving a rental car, so I get in, because I had took all the cars back from her, so she couldn't get to none of the cars. I had took her BMs and all that. So I go on the passenger side of the rental, and I get in. I said, yo, go ahead, drive. I told Manny I'll see him later. I went up in the rental, talking to her. I told her to drive. So as she's driving, I see a great Thunderbird coming back of her. You make that turn, you make that left. So the light is green now. Now she's moving a little something, and it goes to yellow. I said, okay, now speed up and make this left. So when she made the left, she almost turned in, like going the wrong way up the street. Okay. So I grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it back to the right lane, to where the traffic is going the right way. So right across the street, right across from the corner that we made the turn, there's an Amoco gas station on Pennsylvania and Minnesota.
Okay.
So they got a police car in there. They knew that I wouldn't pull over for no regular car. So what they did was they sent the police car at me. And in my mind, I wasn't driving. My wife was driving. So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I got fake ID. I had about 10 different IDs. And my wife had her license, so I'm saying, well, you ain't really do nothing, so just pull over and we gonna see what they gonna say. You made a mistake. And we on our merry way. But the feds was behind them all the time. The feds had said, they told me later on that we knew we couldn't just pull you over in any old kind of car, so a regular police car you may pull over for. And when I stepped out, they jumped out the trees and out the restaurant, and all kind of cars came and this and that, but I tried to jump back in the car, and my wife tried to throw the car in drive, but she never got it in drive. She just got it down to neutral, and the car was just revving real high, and they snatched her out the joint, pulled her through the window, and they threw me on the floor. And the feds, and then one of the agents was like, give us that famous smile. And I just looked up at them and gave them a smile. They was like, yeah, that's him. Yeah. And they had and when I went to the federal building, they had a can of ALPO on their table.
A can of ALPO?
Yeah, they gave a can of ALPO to the federal agent who finally got it. The van that they had an old van sitting outside this faggot's house. And when I finally got knocked, they opened that joint up, and that joint had top of the line technology. They had like a scope up in there, all type of surveillance equipment and all that, but the joint was like a raggedy old van. So they was definitely surveilling the joint from the girl telling her that I'd be down there a lot. And that's how they got me. That's how they got me that night, November 6th, 1991. Over to DC jail and all that. I'm in DC jail for a little while. My name, they started to hear that I'm up in there. And because the kid Rayful, he had just, maybe like 2 years before, he had just left the joint. Like I said, he was like one of the biggest dudes coming up out of DC. I'm hooking up with some of the dudes that I used to deal with on the street. They brothers are in there, so they strong. A couple of little beefs was trying to take off for the kid Michael Frey. His nephew was in there, and a couple other dudes that was rolling with him, so they was trying to, like, yo, did you kill my uncle and this and that? But nothing never came about that because I was a little too much. I was a little too strong for them at that time.
You strong? You had a little crew in there?
Yeah, I had to. Like I said, my man. Yeah. Like my man, them brother, they were strong. Then my man Wayne. Okay. All he did is send the word to the jail, like, yo, my man is up there. Make sure he's right. Right. So the unit they had me and dudes like, yo, don't worry about nothing, bro. You all right? Okay. And like I said, my man, little brother, he doing like 40 with the feds now. I think he just caught another body.
Contrast Productions.
So I didn't really have nothing to worry about. But then they snatched me up out of it. They took me to Virginia. Now it was time for me to. They was extraditing me to Virginia to the original complaint, which was Nut. Right. Rich and them cousins. Now I'm over in Alexander Detention Center, sitting for months, just sitting, not knowing what the hell is going on. My lawyer's telling me, well, they got you for this, they got you for that. So in that, I'm thinking, okay, I can fight this over here. This ain't really nothing. That's crazy. I didn't do all this over here. No, I'm thinking, DC not really coming. They got me for something in Virginia. What DC was doing was just building their case and was going to just add to this Virginia thing. So once I was in that system, they had people willing to come testify. Once I'm in jail, they had people willing to come testify against me, and other crews before me were going to try. They was coming back with natural life. And so my lawyer was like, look, you really need to make a decision. And I was trying to fight them. I was going through all the preliminaries as far as what kind of evidence they had on me, what their case was. I was really taking it to the point where I'm going to see if I can fight these people. And my lawyer was like, look, your ace in the hole is if they ever ask you to tell, you really need to think about that. And that wasn't until like 8, 9, almost a year later that I decided to do that. So my lawyer came back at me and was like, look, they trying to make a deal, man. They really want Wayne Perry. They want you, but they also want Wayne Perry. And if you got anything good on Wayne Perry, they wanted to make a deal with you. So I was like the less of two evils. Me and Wayne, we were both evil to them, but I was the less.
The less, right.
Evil one, like, we can sleep with him, but we can't do nothing with Wayne Perry.
Right.
We got to prosecute one of them, so I'd rather us prosecute Wayne Perry. But then when them crackers wanted me, they put the full court press on me. We gonna hit you with the death penalty. We know we got you for this murder. We got you for that murder. This is the capital punishment right here. We gonna get you. I'm sitting up in there like, yo, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm talking to my lawyer. My lawyer like, yo, your ace in the hole is Wayne Perry because they asking about him and this and that. I'm saying, yo, we not going there right now. Here's 70, 80,000. We gonna let's get this thing rolling and all that. And then they started bringing in the wife, talking about going to mess with Mama Duke and the sister and the niece. I said, oh.